Hello again, welcome back. David from Atomic Candy, and of course the lovely Miss Lady Pop Hunter, my beautiful, amazing wife. She is. She is, take my word for it. Anyways, Mystery Science Theater 3000. Is anyone else a fan of this? We're both big fans of the Mystery Science 3000. Well, yeah, we're going to get to that here real quick. But I mean, I've been watching it forever, and this is in a time in Boston, you know, talking like late 80s, early 90s, when these used to come on a UHF station at like 1:30 in the morning on Saturday. So you had to really be dedicated to watch the show. And I've probably seen every episode that you can watch, probably 3 or 4 times, you know, over the years, because there's a handful, there's like 2 or 3 episodes that have never been re-aired. I've seen the bootlegs too. We both have the bootleg versions that are not supposed to be aired, but people still have like VHS copies of somewhere, and occasionally they put it on YouTube. Back in the day, you used to be able to buy those bootlegs at conventions. They used to sell bootlegs of that stuff and bootlegs of like anime and things that you couldn't get in the US on VHS cassettes at like toy and comic book conventions. You don't see that anymore. They don't allow it anymore. But that was back in the day. But we watched all of that. And so the big question in everybody's mind for many, many years was, is it coming back? Guys, are you coming back? Because they did other shows. They did
were really good.
Cinematic Titanic.
That was good.
Yeah, Cinematic Titanic was a decent show. Those
Mike and the robots did
those movie guys.
Yeah, I think that was the name of it, those movie guys.
And that was all right.
Yeah.
And so it's like, guys, can you get over your differences and come back together and get MST3K going again and pick up where you left off? And then they did the crowdfunding. It's like, oh man, it's going to happen. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. And then as the crowdfunding's going on, you're hearing all these rumors about all these other people that want to get involved, because I guess other people that want to ride the coattails of MST3K because their careers are done. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. You're hearing about Seinfeld being involved, and the Muppets, like Muppet puppeteers being involved. It's like, why do you need Muppet puppeteers? What difference? The puppets are very rudimentary. There's nothing to figure out, you know, stuff like this. And it's like, are they going to screw it up? And then, what is it? Reptilicus was the first episode. Reptilicus was the first movie that they did, and it comes out, and we watched it.
We didn't watch the
for
whole thing.
Like 17 minutes. Because right about then she turns and she was like, "What are they doing? This is awful." And I'm like, you know what? I'm not feeling this either. I don't know what the hell they've done. They turned it into a huge production, basically. The original show had a charm to it. It was that I think made it fun and nostalgic. A lot of it was improvised. Even when it was scripted, it was still kind of improvised. They, you could see sometimes them operating the puppets. You could see, you knew they were screwing stuff up. You knew they were making stuff up.
And it was super cheesy.
And they were just, it was super cheesy, but it wasn't like trying to make it cheesy.
It was like, this is all we got, so here you go.
There you go. And that was cool. It was fun.
It made it good.
It was fun. It was really fun. But now they're trying to recapture that. They're trying to bottle that cheesiness and sell it. And so when you watch it, and first they start off with this huge production with the mad scientists, which is way too much in my opinion. All of this band with these like skull helmets and all this other stuff.
This huge intro, because before it had like a stupid intro.
Real simple.
Now they got this like real choreographed intro. Like, whoa, here you go. And the song was cool the way it was. Non-professional. I think Joel sang the first one and Mike sang the second one. They can't sing, and that was fine. Now they got like a singer to sing the song, and I don't know. It's just I just didn't like that. I thought it was good the way it was.
And a lot of CGI.
The set is nice. but it was better when the set was just like
cheese.
Yeah, it's like we went down to Home Depot and got some stuff and put it together.
It's a lot of toys, and they just painted it. Because if you look real carefully at the set, you can see like pieces of Star Wars play sets and stuff all embedded in the walls.
Yeah,
they just like the Millennium Falcon is there.
Whatever they had is what they used, and that was fine.
Which is how they made the puppets. Because as you know, the prices of the toys that the puppets are made out of, especially Tom Servo, have been driven way up. Like that barrel bank he has for a chest and stuff. It's hard to find that stuff now because people keep wanting to reproduce the puppets, and it's getting harder and harder to find those pieces and those accessories now. But it's like they wanted to bottle that charm, and if you're artificially producing the charm, it isn't charming.
No,
it's annoying.
Yeah.
And so we were disappointed. I actually went back and watched the rest of that Reptilicus.
Oh, did you?
I did. And we've watched a few other episodes together since.
Yeah, so months later we went back to it.
Yeah.
And once you watch it, you kind of get into it a little bit. It's still not as funny as it was because it's not conversational. Like the original one was like conversational.
Yeah.
Like how normal people talk, you step in before you need to. But this one is you talk, okay, now it's my turn to talk. Okay, now it's my turn. So it didn't flow well.
Yeah, and that's the whole puppet thing too, because that's what they do. That's what they do on like Sesame Street or whatever. That's your professional puppeteers there. When in the old days, when they were improvising, they just run each other over all over the place, and that was hilarious.
Yeah, and that's what you were looking for, and it sounded like a conversation. Even though it was scripted, they made it sound like people just sitting around talking.
Yeah, or the in-between parts, like the intermission bits, feel very heavily scripted. For the one you didn't see, because I said I went back and saw the Reptilicus, they did a rap. He was like, he's going to explain about monsters, and he was like, could you do it in rap form? And he was like, I sure can. And I was like, oh my God, you're really going to do this? And they sat there and they did a freaking rap. And it felt so rehearsed and so scripted. And I was just like, oh God, please.
I mean, they sang on the original ones. But it felt like they were making it up on the spot.
Yeah, it felt like they were going. And yeah, some of the gags are still there because you listen to it. Like the one that got me on the Reptilicus actually was this one guy. There was an old guy on it, and he was giving his opinion, and then somebody said, well, thank you, Dr. Pee Wee Kissinger. And he was actually dressed like Pee Wee Herman, and he was really old. And I was like, okay, that's cute, I get it. But, you know, you got to really be into it to pick the fun out of it now.
Yeah, like before it was kind of just naturally thrown out there. Now it seems like they're finding areas to put funny parts in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and not like it was always perfect, because if you go back and you watch the original like season of this stuff when they were on cable access television, and you're and like even the earliest bootlegs, if anybody's seen them, where Joel is by himself.
Yeah,
and there's no robots.
Yeah,
you know, and he's just chiming in occasionally. You could tell, hey, I'm just trying to feel this out and see where I can go with this, because I think he was a prop comic.
Yeah, Joel
was a prop comic, and that's where he brought the robots in, because he was like, you know what, I need something to work with. Makes sense. They've, I think what you got to understand is that what everybody wanted was for the show to pick up where it left off.
Yeah.
And that's not what you've got. What you've got is a straight up reboot. And it's kind of like with RoboCop. You know, I heard somebody put it this way about RoboCop, because you remember the original RoboCop is a freaking 80s classic, period. And they're coming out with RoboCop again, and everybody's like, oh, don't do it. And the movie came out, and it's actually not that bad. The old one's better, but the new one, the reboot, isn't that bad. But a lot of people were sat there and said, did you have to call it RoboCop? Could you have called it something else? I would have been happier if you called it something else and didn't imply the Peter Weller's RoboCop. And I think that's kind of how I feel about this. it's not a bad show. You know, we watched a few more episodes of it. It kind of grows on you.
Yeah.
But you've got to get your mind around the idea that it is a reboot. It is not a continuation of the original show. It's not the original show.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately, is what everybody wanted. Oh, go ahead.
No, I wasn't going to say. I was just saying, yeah, it's not the original, and you were looking for certain things to be there, and it's just not.
It's not there.
And they, I don't know if I want to say fancified. I don't think fancified is a word, but they just made it fancy and just put too much effort in it. The original feel like it wasn't a lot of effort put in there. It was just, let's go do something. Like a college project.
Which is where the charm comes from that I was talking about. Because it's just like...
Now it's like, oh, we got a few dollars, so let's use it where we can. Where before they didn't have any money. It felt like their heart was in it. They really wanted to do that. And now it feels like, oh, we got some money. Let's put something together.
Yeah. Which they could have gotten around. Because Joel is there. You know, Joel's there, he's directing the show. And it's like, you know, they could have done something. I know I'm just going off in fantasy land here. But they could have had the mad scientists find Joel, track him down, and bring him back.
Yeah.
And then had him up there with the robots. And everybody was like, yeah, it's Joel. You know what I mean? And you got, oh, there we go. Fuzzy time. And now you've got Jonah in the yellow jumpsuit, who is a professional and is very Jonah's his real name, obviously. Very scripted, very prepared. You know, even when he's trying to look awkward and clumsy, it's acting like he's awkward and clumsy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can feel it. You can really feel it. And I'm not trying to put Jonah down. I mean, that's his gig. He got the job. You know, I would do it if they hired me. But yeah, like I said, you've got to get over the idea that it's, or get your mind around the idea that it's not the original show. And it's a little easier to swallow that pill once you get that part done.
Yeah.
And I don't like what they've done with the mad scientists at all.
I don't like
I'm really not feeling them at all.
No, they're not engaging. They're not funny. They're not doing... I even like Pearl better than these guys, and I didn't like Pearl.
I was never a fan of Pearl.
I was never a fan of Pearl.
I always liked it when it was Dr. Forrester.
And it's TV's Frank. Even the first guy, I can't remember.
Oh, I can't think of his name either. The guy with the black hair. Because he started off on the cable access.
Yeah, and he stayed, and then TV Frank came in.
Back when they used to advertise pizza on the show. Once again, if you haven't seen the bootlegs, you're missing out.
Well, it's on YouTube. All you got to do is type in Mystery Science. You can get it all the way.
Where he would come out and he'd say, Dr. Forrester, look what I have. It's a pizza from blah, blah, blah. And they'd start talking about the pizza place and literally advertise on the show.
Yeah, that's how you got your funding.
That's how you got your funding. That's how they got started. So it's a pity that for whatever creative differences or other differences, they couldn't all get back on the same page or at least in the same book together.
Yeah.
It seems like. But I think that they have overshot what it was that made Mystery Science what it was and what it is to a lot of the viewers.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, it's not bad. We've been watching it again, watching the new ones, and we're getting to like it. But again, it's not the original show.
No, I'd rather see the original over and over again.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it for me.
That's about it. Well, I mean, what do you think? Any Mystery Science Theater fans out there? Tell us what you think. I mean, are you into the new show? Do you feel like it has to grow on you? I mean, do you see our point? I mean, we're not trying to dog the new show.
Yeah,
we
are fans.
Yeah, we're big long-term MST3K fans. Just chime in. Let us know what you think about that. Please do. Where am I? Give us a thumbs up if you got something out of the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. And check out some of our other content. You may find something that you like.
Maybe.
I found something that I like. So that being said, we will see you again soon. So bye. What are you doing?